It is not that the universe has been born out of an accident and it is left to its own accidental course. It is not so. Artheshu abhijnaha swarat. There is a wonderful source from which the entire creation has come up. In the entire creation, it is true that we have Panchabhutas. Every one of the Bhutas is stupendous, great, imposing, overwhelming, overpowering, I agree. But all of them are inert. There is something called sentience in the whole creation. That sentience is far different from and greater than the Panchabhutas, which are material and energial in character, in nature. Now in the whole universe, the sentience makes it complex every time. Artheshu abhijnaha swara. In the matter of preserving the universe, preserving its order, preserving its rhythm, and see that nothing unduly destructive is allowed to take place. The creator, the preserver has got all capacity, potential, and also the skill and ingenuity. Abhijnaha. Let the crisis be of any kind whatsoever. The whole universe has sprung from a certain source. Whatever intelligence or supremacy we have now, the source of all this supremacy and intelligence should be far greater than what we have. So it is quite capable of. I would like to describe God as superb or supreme intelligence. That will be the right description. Consciousness, existence and bliss. These are the three words we use in connection with God and the supreme reality called Brahman. That consciousness, the ability to understand, the ability to sense, the ability to comprehend anything that is to come, and also evolve and design any procedure, any method, any means, any expediency in order to administer a redress, a salvation, a kind of a correction. I think abhijnaha in all matters, inside or outside, subtle or gross. Abhijnaha swarat. It is fully sovereign in this matter. How can he appear? So when Aditi prayed to Mahavishnu, he appeared and he said, I cannot encounter Bali just like I encountered Hiranyakashipu or anybody else. This encounter should be of a different type. In fact, it should not be an encounter. It should be a friendly meeting with friendly dialogue. So I will evolve an expedient measure. For that I am going to be born of you. Then he was born. Suddenly he became a brahmachari. Many items were gifted by so many people here as well as from above. And he proceeded there, engaged Mahabali in a conversation, in a beautiful dialogue, where Mahabali was trying to excel Vamana at every point of time by being better and more virtuous as a man of charity, as a man of benevolence. Finally, Mahabali was not able to fulfill what he gave. Why are you asking for 3 feet space of earth? I will give you island after island, peninsula after peninsula, he said. Finally he agreed because Vamana persisted and he also had his morals and virtues. Any kind of a beggar or a seeker should not be greedy. I originally said I want only this much of land, 3 feet of land from you. I hold on to my original requirement. I won't allow my mind to go greedy. All these points were said and finally when he was about to give, he was unable to give. So Mahabali understood the hollowness of his position, hollowness of his claim, hollowness of his own self-evaluation. So it is a very beautiful exchange between the two, a beautiful meeting between the two. Now how beautifully Lord arranged this. This is what he means by saying Artheshu abhijnaswara. Without any unfriendly word uttered, no damage done, no bloodshed, no war, nothing. The purpose was accomplished. Now Prahlada, the grandfather, being present there suddenly, seeing all these things, he has his own words to say. Nemam virinjo labhate prasadam nashrir nasharvaha kimuta parete yenno asuranamasi durgapalo Vishwabhivandyairabhivanditangrihi. I think this sloka should be recited by every one of you. And the message should be assimilated into your system. Nemam virinjo labhate prasadam. This kind of a blessing, virinchaha abhi. Even Lord Brahma has not been able to gain or acquire. Nemam virinjo labhate prasadam. What a great blessing you have given to Mahabali, my grandson. This kind of a blessing nobody in earlier has been able to get. Nobody was given this. Nashrir nasharvaha kimuta parete. Not only Brahma, Nashri, even Mahalakshmi has not been able to achieve or gain this kind of a blessing. Sharvaha, Lord Shiva also has not got. My dear viewers, are you listening to this? What is the description Prahlada gives? Prahlada was the loftiest devotee of Mahavishnu. Though born of an Asura father, he was the loftiest devotee, most chosen one. It was for the sake of Prahlada that Mahavishnu had to appear from a pillar instantly, all of a sudden, like Naragari, an unseen and an unheard form. Nemam virincho labhate prasadam nashrihi nasharvaha kimuta parete. Even Mahalakshmi has not been able to achieve, and Lord Shiva also. Kimuta parete. What about the other people? Yanno asuranam asidurgapalaha. What is that blessing? Yad naha asuranam api. Asuranam api naha. We are all born in the demon group. We are not born as devas. We are not born as human beings also. Our birth has been in the Asuric clan. To be born as an Asura is not at all good. It is not considered good at all. It's not a virtuous or a noble Janma. In spite of the fact that we are born or we belong to the Asura group, for them, Durgapalaha, you have declared that you are going to be the gatekeeper for us. As long as Mahabali is going to be in Sutala, you will remain there as a gatekeeper along with your Sudarshana Chakra to make sure that nothing untoward takes place for Mahabali and his rule and residence. Vishwabhivandyairapi vanditangrihi. And what is your position? Your feet are adorable to gods worshipped by the whole world. Vishwabhivandyaih api. Those people who are worshipped in the world over, the universe over. Vanditangrihi. You are not an ordinary person. Your position, your pomp, your power, your majesty, your magnificence, your splendor, your supremacy. It is unimaginable. The entire world is worshipping some god or gods or goddesses. All of them are worshipping your feet. And such a person, so exceedingly, overpoweringly adorable, he is going to stand as the Durgapala, as the gatekeeper for Mahabali, as long as he is going to live in Sudala. Can this be ever thought of? What is it that Prahlada is referring to? Rekshishye sarvatoham tuam. Rekshishye sarvatoham tuam. I will protect you in all ways. I would be present there with my Sudarshana Chakra, he says. This is the type of blessing he pronounced. Nemam virincho labhate prasadam nashrir nasharvaha kimuta parete yanno asuranamasi durgapalo vishwabhivandyairapi vanditangrihi. See, whenever you think of the Lord, you must bring imaginations of this kind. Imagine the conversation that transpired soon after Mahabali was subdued and Mahabali himself confesses the blessing he had. Prahlada makes this kind of a proposition. Now, every one of you is worshipping such a Lord. And when you are worshipping such a great Lord, what should be the attitude that you should have? Never ask the Lord for anything in particular. Declare that you are His. Declare that you are His. Ask for nothing in particular. Only remember Him with fondness. Surrender before Him in full measure. Have no ego as a vestige left in you. The whole earth, the entire universe is possessed by God. Then what about the little denizen that you are of the earth? Is it necessary to say, if the earth belongs to God, you also belong to God? Then what is there for you to say, this is mine? So surrender all these wrong and deluded notions. Yat pada padma makaranda nishevanena brahmadayah sharanadashnuvate vibhudihi kasmadvayam kusurdayah khalayo nayaste dakshinya drishti padavim bhavatah pranita. You know, when I recite this verse, the type of melting, the type of radiance, the type of ethereality I feel while reciting this verse. Imagine that picture, Prahlada, Mahabali, the little Vamana, Brahma, Shiva, and so many others standing by the side. And he is making the statement. What is the type of blessing they had? How Mahavishnu blessed them, the Asura people, the Asura clan, in such a manner. Yat pada padma makaranda nishevanena. Yat pada padma makaranda nishevanena brahmadayah sharanadashnuvate vibhudihi kasmad vayam kusurdayah khalayo nayaste dakshinya drishti padavim bhavatah pranita. How to explain this to you, I am wondering. Yat pada padma makaranda nishevanena brahmadeha. We are all created by Brahma. Anytime we can be under Shiva. Shiva is the Lord of destruction. So on the one hand, Brahma created us, and Shiva is going to take us away, and Mahavishnu is in between to preserve, maintain, protect and look after us. So he says, Yat pada padma makaranda nishevanena brahmadeha. Brahma and the others, Brahma, Shiva and the others, by taking to worshipping your lotus feet, O Lord, sharanadashnuvate vibhudihi. They are able to get a number of glory, splendor, etc. We can understand Brahma, Shiva and the others by worshipping your lotus feet, by being addicted to the nectar that flows from your lotus feet like bees. They are able to get many vibhudis, many excellences, many virtues. What about we people? And he describes themselves. Kasmad vayam kusurdayah khalayo nayaste. So the words are very sharp. Prahlada is speaking. Vayam, what about us? Kusurdayah. We are all given to evil deeds, vicious methods and practices. Our values, our goals, our objectives, all are by nature very vicious. Khalayo nayaste. We are born of evil womb. Such people, dakshinya drishti padavim bhavatah pranita. In spite of the adverse factors about our birth, our nature, our character, our tendencies and the types of activities we are given to, still we have become an object of your graceful glance. Dakshinya drishti padavim. You are looking at us with so much of gracefulness. That grandeur of your grace, it is showering on us incessantly. Bhavatah pranitaha. And who is responsible for this? You alone. Who was born as Vamana? You yourself. What for? To bless Mahabali. You yourself told Aditi that Mahabali is a great man. He is protected by gods. He is actually under the grace of Brahmanas also. It is very difficult to give him any kind of a battle or an attack. So I will have to find out an expedient means by virtue of which Bali can be approached and your objective can be fulfilled. So I have decided to get born as your son. So I have a right to do whatever is necessary for my brothers Indra and the others. Indra becomes my brother the moment I am born to you. and for the sake of my brother, I can do whatever is necessary and convenient. In this way you proceeded. And this is the type of encounter, a friendly encounter you had. Yatpada padmamakaranda nishevanena brahmadaya sharanadashnuvade vibhudihi. So considering Brahma and the others who are being showered with a number of advantages and splendors, we people, we deserve nothing. Our birth itself is evil, wicked. Our tendencies are absolutely harmful, vociferous. In spite of it, we are still under the graceful protection of you. And you yourself are responsible for this. As long as the world remains, this episode of Vamana, this episode of Mahabali will be remembered, recited and sung the world over. There will be no assembly in honor of Mahavishnu except making a reference to Prahlada on the one hand and Mahabali on the other. So we have got a seat quite close to you in the hearts and minds of the devotees. All divine narrations will have to refer to us also. What kind of a grace have you bestowed upon us? Dakshinya drushti padavim bhavatah pranita. Chitram tavehidamaho amidayogamaya leela visrushta bhuvanasya visharadasya sarvatmanaha samadrisho vishamasvabhavo bhakta priyo yadasi kalpataru svabhavaha. What a wonderful statement. Chitram tavehidamaho amidayogamaya leela visrushta bhuvanasya visharadasya sarvatmanas samadrisho vishamasvabhavo bhakta priyo yadasi kalpataru svabhavaha. See, this is Srimad Bhagavata, written in poetry. What is poetry? The musical rendering, the metric rendering of the entire Aksharamala, letters and words. And what a beautiful statement. I have told you earlier also, Vidyavatam Bhagavate Pariksha. Bhagavata is not merely sweet and delicious word after word, day after day. Swadu swadu pade pade, swadu swadu dine dine. That is okay. At the same time, Vidyavatam Bhagavate Pariksha. For the knowledgeable people, scholarly people, studious students and seekers, there is constant examination in Srimad Bhagavatam. What is that examination? To understand what is mentioned. The words used, the lines specially formed, the manner in which so many sandhis, conjunctions are made, all these you will find. And profound ideas, metaphysical, philosophical, spiritual, yogic, experiential, very transcendental type of things have been conveyed here. Chitram tavehidamaho amitayogamaya leela visrushta bhuvanasya visharadasya. Visharadasya, you are omniscient, all-knowing. So far as your knowledge is concerned, there is no deficiency at all in your knowledge. It is superb and supreme, unexcellable by anybody. Chitram, it is really wonderful, intriguing and strange. Tavehitamaho, all your activities. Could anyone have thought that Mahavishnu would have been born as a Vamana? A short form with a leafy umbrella, a water pot and a staff and a Brahma Sutra. He starts walking to a great sacrifice, Ashwamedha Yaga. And then what happened? He came as a dwarf and he subdued Mahabali, who possessed all the three worlds. Can anybody imagine this? Where from do you get the intelligence and the insight to do all this? Tavehitamaho amitayogamaya leela visrushta bhuvanasya. The entire universe, does it have a boundary? Not at all. How the universe has been formed? Can any human intelligence unravel the mystery? You know, the material world, the objective world we say, The material world could not have been born of another material source. Because if you say it is born of another material source, the second material source also will stand included in the material universe. So the material universe could not have been born of another material source. Naturally, matter has been born from non-matter, something that is supra-material in character. The space has got no boundaries at all. Can you imagine an existence unbounded? Unbounded. When something remains unbounded, it cannot be existence at all. But all that we see in the form of earth, the sun, the moon, so many other stars in the sky, all of them have their boundaries and they are floating in an unbounded space. How can the space be unbounded? So I would like to generally describe it as an unbounded sphere. We can say in words, but in reality it is unimaginable. But the world is that and nothing else. Amita yoga maya leela visrishta bhuvanasya. You have got an inscrutable power called Maya. And that Maya is unlimited. Unlimited. It is transcendent. 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 Amita yoga maya leela visrishta bhuvanasya. And the creation of the whole universe is actually a sportful act so far as you are concerned. In the creation, what all things are taking place, how much of destruction is going on. As construction is going on, creation, dissolution also is going on. On the one hand creation and the other hand dissolution. By these two concurrent twin processes, you are not affected the least. After all, when something is destroyed, your own being is destroyed. When something is created, an addition is made to your being. By this constant addition, by this constant destruction, nothing happens to you. It is really a sportfulness. It is a leela. And it is done in an illusory manner by virtue of your own inscrutable power. Chitram tavehitamaho amita yoga maya leela visrishta bhuvanasya visharadasya. In the matter of arranging, designing, executing, planning and working the plan, how much of skill, conceptual skill, designing skill, performantial skill you must have? Visharadasya sarvatmanaha samadrisho vishamasvabhavo. Sarvatmanaha. You are residing in the hearts and minds of everybody, inside every atom, in the mountain, in the sea, in the skies, everything big and small. Samadrishaha. And you have a wonderful vision called Samadrishti. What is that Samadrishti? You will not have any preference to anybody or a prejudice to anybody. It's a wonderful transcendental and wholesome vision. Vishamasvabhavaha. At the same time you will find the world consists of pairs of opposites, good and bad. Vishamasvabhavaha. Though you have Samadrishti, the world consists of different things and all the characteristics and tendencies are in fact yours. So you have a Vishamasvabhavaha, or your Swabhava is something very, very hard to understand. Bhakta Priyo Yadasi Kalpataru Swabhavaha. You are a Bhakta Priya. Bhakta Priya. You are a lover of devotees. And you love your devotees. So you are extremely beloved to the devotees, and the devotees also are extremely beloved to you. And with this wonderful nature, producing, preserving, destroying, everything by virtue of your sportful, inscrutable power. Kalpataru swabhavaha. Kalpataru swabhavaha. You are a wish-yielding tree called Kalpataru for everyone. In other words, what does he say? Your activity is very, very perplexing, confounding to all people. With your omniscience, the world creation is but a sport for you. You have got such exceedingly great yogic power that anything that you can decide, anything that you can create. You know what is the power of God? He can create anything at will. He can uncreate anything at will. And He can bring about any change or moderation in whatever is. These are the three powers. Your nature is very, very pure, very hard to understand. But your kindness is just like that of the Kalpataru. Very, very beloved to the devotees, and devotees also are extremely beloved to you. What all things you have accomplished now at one stroke? You pleased and fulfilled the wish of Aditi. You have restored the heaven to Indra, and you have blessed us who stood in between also. Everybody is blessed in the whole process. Nobody is cursed. What further is necessary? That is why Prahlada describes him as Kalpataru Swabhavaha. Remember this one word, Kalpataru Swabhavaha. How many times shall I repeat it? Kalpataru Swabhavaha. Whenever you go, whichever temple you go to, whichever deity or picture you stand in front, understand that it represents the supreme divinity, God, the supreme intelligence, which is Kalpataru Swabhavaha, who has got a nature to yield whatever you ask for. It is such a God that every one of you is worshipping. Chitram tavehidamaho amita yogamaya lila visrishta bhuvanasya visharadasya sarvatmanas samadrisho vishamasvabhavo bhakta priyo yadasi kalpataru swabhavaha. Bhakta priyo yadasi kalpataru swabhavaha.